Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Chulas Pero Mulas. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your lives to listen to today's chat. Actually, this is the first time I just realized is that this is going to be the first podcast by myself since my introductory episode. So don't have anybody to introduce. Feels a little weird, but let's see what happens. Anyways, so one of the things that I wanted to talk about in today's podcast has to do with the retreat. It was brought to my attention that in the last episode or podcast that I had titled "Generational Healing," I may have come across a little too maybe mm, too harsh with my mom, maybe, or a little bit too insensitive with my mom and my sister, and I obviously that was never my intention. That's not what I wanted to bring across. But I think it may have happened. I think it may have happened unintentionally. Now, just to kind of explain a little bit about this, I am not a therapist. I am not a psychologist. I am actually working on a psych degree. So I do have a very curious mind, and I like to have these, amazing conversations that usually have to do with psychology. And because I am so interested in that part of, of many other things that I'm interested in, it tends to come up a lot. And I honestly, it's just something that kind of happens, and it was just kind of interesting how I was doing something similar to that without me realizing it. Again, I am not a licensed therapist or a psychologist, and so I never want to come across, as that type of individual, as though I am licensed, or everything that I say is usually my opinion. I am usually pretty clear about stating that this is my opinion and strictly my opinion. Again, what had happened is, like, I'm still working on doing this project, and a lot of it has been challenging. It's specifically the editing part. There was a lot of information, I'm not going to say information, but there was a long conversation that was had before the recording, and that I just couldn't catch. I just couldn't include everything because it was too much. And so in my editing, there were other parts that that had come up that I didn't introduce, that I should have introduced. For example, one of the parts where I was having this conversation with my mom had to do with her recollecting this memory where she remembers growing up in a home where if she dropped something, if she dropped a cup, or if she dropped the spoon, or something happened, it was an accident and she dropped it, her dad would severely scream at her and call her like names, and be like very, very abusive towards her. And so she basically grew up in a very like high trauma, very verbally abusive, and other types of abuse. And that's the kind of home that she grew up in. So one of the conversations that we were having had to do with that. And then I explained to my mom, I said, it's so interesting because now I can make the connection as to, why it was so normal, and it didn't feel, weird or anything like that you married a man that did, something very similar. Now, my dad wasn't abusive in that way where, he would reprimand us for spilling something. No, he didn't do that. But he yelled a lot. And every time he spoke, it was almost like he was yelling. And so I grew up in a home that was very loud because my dad yelled a lot. I was so young that I remember, it scared me so much. And so the conversation that I was having with my mom was, this part where I realized that um, she couldn't have changed anything because she didn't know how to change it. She couldn't have changed. She chose someone with very similar characteristics to her dad because she didn't realize that that's what she was doing, and she didn't realize that those characteristics, some of them were very negative and had like really like a lasting impact on all of us. And so, anyways, when I made the connection, it was like it was just a kind of cool because I explained it to her. I'm like, that's what happens. That's what happens when we grow up in these environments where it's trauma. We just grow up in trauma all over the like all our lives. So leaving that home in our culture, leaving that home and going to another home, that home that now we're building, to live in the same type of environment is very normal. Like that just it was just very normal to my mom. And it was an aha moment. It was like such an aha moment. But because there was so many moments like that throughout the conversation, again, my editing wasn't the best, so I didn't get a chance to include some of those other really cool moments that we had these like aha moments throughout the conversation. So anyways, I wanted to clear that up, and I wanted to again, if anybody was offended, or if I came across as though I am insensitive and I don't care about my mom and my sister's feelings, that's not the case. Like I am very, very respectful of both of them. I respect them so much, and I care about their feelings, and I would never like intentionally just, make somebody cry, for no reason. Like I would never do that. I think that moment my mom was just like very emotional because the conversation had been going on for a couple of minutes, so she was already feeling really emotional, and I just captured that part where she had that moment of where she saw herself. And so, anyways, just to kind of get back to that, I just want to apologize for that. And if anybody felt, again, that I was being too harsh, that was never my intention. I had a conversation with my mom and my sister, and I was like, oh my gosh, guys, I need to talk to you because, I just found this out, and did I do this? And if I did, please let me know, because that's not who I am. That's never what I want to do. And they were very clear to say that no, that it wasn't. So I am going to have a podcast with if, probably in the very near future with both of them, so they can kind of talk about their experience and some of the things some of the revelations that came to them also, because I think it was just, we had quite a few aha moments, and it was really cool, to kind of see them and observe them and talk about them and help each other understand, like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. Like, oh shit, like mom, I didn't know that they had gone through that. I didn't know how that affected you, and just like learning so many things about my mom just kind of helped me see her like this just like amazing woman, that in the end she's just a woman, just like I am, just like you are, just like she's just a woman. She's a woman that like has gone through a lot of stuff, and she's made a lot of mistakes, but she's also learned a lot. And here she is in her 70s, and she's trying to figure life out, and I see that, and I admire her, and I think she's like an amazing lady, and I like hanging out with her. She's fun. She's like fun. She's a super excellent conversationalist, and We have very, very good conversations, as I do with my dad also. But with my mom, I think that as I'm getting older, also I kind of feel and that I understand so much more than I ever did. I understand so much about her as just, a woman, and and this tough lady, because she had to do so many things to, to get to where she's at now and to help us get to where we're at now. And I'm like really grateful for her. I'm so grateful. And I am so I think most of all, I'm grateful to still have her with me. Like I'm grateful that she can still give me advice, and she can still, give me her opinion, and be very loving about it. And I'm really grateful that she's healthy and that we get to do stuff. And I'm grateful that that I've been able to do like a lot more with her lately. And going on a vacation with her, it seems like so excited with them, and just I'm really looking forward to that. And like to start, that planning it is amazing, and to think that I'm gonna get to spend, a few days with them. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, and so I have this like completely different relationship with them now that I'm so so grateful for, that I wish a lot of people would have. I wish that everybody would have. And so that's why I talk about these things, because I think at some point in my life, I didn't, or I guess I should say that I didn't always feel like this. I didn't always feel like this. That there was a lot of points in my life where like I was just angry, like I literally just blamed them for like every single thing. And I feel like I just felt that everything, all my mishaps and misfortunes and all that were somehow, always tied back to them. And now I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, I had a choice the whole time, and so I made my own choices, and I made good choices and then bad choices, but they didn't all have to do with them. Like they didn't all have to do with them. There was a lot of moments in my life where I made my own choices because I wanted to make my own choices, and I knew exactly what I was doing. Nobody was forcing me to do anything, and I did those things. And so it's not. I just when I realized that I was just using them as a crutch to not work on myself, then I started seeing them differently. I just started seeing them as who they are. They're just people. Like they're just people that just happen to be my parents, but they're just people. They're just people that went through something very similar, that I'm going through now. They're just people that are like just trying to figure it out, like, trying to figure everything out at a different age. Now they're trying to figure out, their how their Medi-Cal and their Medicare works, so they can try to be as independent as possible. They're trying to figure out how to stay independent, still managing their bank accounts, and and only coming to me and asking me for help when, like when my mom really gets stuck. But she's they're going through that, which just helps me see, because we live together, that this is where I'm headed. Like this is going to be me, in a few years, and it's going to go by really fast. And so I think I just kind of feel that I just want to take advantage of having a relationship with them now, being able to do those things with them now, like having conversations with them, and having like we have some really deep conversations. My parents are like fucking awesome when it comes to conversation. They have like really cool like insight, and they have really different opinions. And my dad is like very into politics and Mexican politics, and he really knows his shit. And my mom is she's like very humanitarian, and she loves to help people, and she's very involved in her church, and she likes to do these things. But they're like really cool people. They're like really amazing people. I mean, they're cool together, and they're also cool apart. And so I feel like really grateful that I get the opportunity to hang out with them and just like do stuff with them and do fun stuff. Like they like to go to museums too, and they like to go exploring and wherever. Si los invito, hey, let's go visit this museum or a temple or I'm doing something from school and I need help with this project. I mean, they're always like, okay, like what do I do? Like, sure, like sign me up. And they've just kind of become my go-to people because they never say no to me. It's just like, okay, where do I go? Where do I sign? And so they're amazing people. Like they're amazing people, and I feel so grateful and I feel so privileged that I get to do that with them, and that I got to realize that um, time is like we don't have that much time, so I can't put things off that I can do today. Like I don't want to put them off anymore. If I can do today, I'm just gonna go. Like lo que yo he mirado, like what I can see in some members of my family and other members and in our culture, other people in our culture also, is that mucha de la gente que se vino like immigrants, they have this thing about like saving and saving and I like they save a lot of money, like they're constantly saving, but they're not spending their money. They're not enjoying life. They're just working and working and working and working and saving. And like it just like doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, well, I mean, spend the money. Like I know you work really hard. I understand. Like I understand, but like spend the money. Like go and do some of the things that you like to do. Go on a trip, go do these things, because like you can't spend your life just working and working and then putting money away, like for what? Like I don't understand it. Like I don't understand that reasoning. Like you're constantly saving so much money but you're not spending it, and you're working so much that you're making yourself sick. So by the time you get to this age, that this magical age that we're supposed to get to, and then just magically retire and whatever, and we're just kind of working. In the meanwhile, I'm like, we get to that age and we're like sick because we've made ourselves sick from all this work and not actually being able to enjoy life. So I feel like I don't know. Like I don't want to do that. And I talk to my mom and my dad about that all the time. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like plan to do to go on trips. Like plan it. And now I know like that they really want to do these things because they're like really gung ho about it. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna plan it then. Like let's plan something. Let's plan this trip. Where do you want to go next year? What do you want to do? Okay, then let's get on this plan so we can start working on that, so we can start, so you guys can start traveling more. If I can travel with you, that's great, but if I can't, then maybe somebody else can travel with you, or just learn how to travel alone, so you can travel alone while you can still travel alone. And so that I work on stuff with them. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting, this newfound relationship that I have with both of them. It's actually amazing, and I'm super grateful. So anyways, okay, so I rambled a little bit about that. It was just kind of interesting. I just came back from a trip to Chicago, to Illinois. My niece graduated from Navy boot camp, and so this is Laura's second, and her name is Lily. We're super proud of her. She's 20. She's 20 years old, and she decided to join the Navy. And everybody was really supportive, and she's gonna do great because she's just this amazing human being that has this absolute like self-discipline like I've never seen before. So she's amazing. She's just an amazing human being. I admire her, and she's going to do great in life. So anyways, that's the reason why one of the reasons why we went there. And my daughters are also out in Illinois. So then I got a chance to visit with them for a little bit. So I kind of got a chance to do these, these two amazing things. It's just the reason why I wanted to do this podcast and what my intention was, or is what my intention is for this podcast. I'm pretty sure that I talked about it in on my introductory podcast as to a bunch of different reasons, a lot of cultural reasons, a lot of societal reasons. Why I just kind of had the need just to kind of say stuff that that people don't normally say or talk about, and so that was like one of the main reasons why I decided to do this podcast, to talk about things that are not usually discussed, at the dinner table in our families because of cultural, reasons. So I knew it was going to be difficult. I never thought that it was going to be, the easiest thing. I assumed that it was going to be difficult, but I don't think I was expecting to, I don't think I fully understood like the impact that it was going to have on me, because I didn't realize that I had the ability to express myself the way I'm able to express myself now. And I think I was just pretty much like challenging myself because it was something that I really wanted to do and that I was really scared of doing. So then it was that thing, that I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I could do this thing. And so I started doing it, and then obviously I believed that I could do it. And it gave me confidence, and it gave me the ability to have confidence in other areas of my life as well. So I think in the end, it was just, something that just kind of needed to happen. And I think the reason that when it comes to the intention part, I think the intention, what is to just bring awareness to like a lot of the things that I speak about. I did this thing because it's just kind of like part of this evolutionary process that I'm just kind of going through right now. And that's what's happening to me right now. I want to talk about things that people don't usually talk about, that have become uncomfortable or taboo for some reason or another. And I'm trying to figure out why it's so uncomfortable to speak about, things that we should be talking about, that things that have been damaging to us, that, created these versions of ourselves that became very similar to the versions of the people that raised us in some way or another. And so I'm curious to know, how all that happened, and how it can be undone, because just like it was done, it could be undone. And that's what I believe. That is absolutely my belief system, that I choose to not live my life the way I was raised, because the way I was raised, it served its purpose. Like, it did what it did to me. It created, the version of me that it was supposed to create. And now I have the opportunity and the ability to just do what I want to do, like how I want to live it. Like, just, this is how I want to live it. It doesn't have anything to do with the way I was raised. Like, that served its purpose. Now, like, I want to live the way I want to live, and it doesn't fit like norms. It doesn't fit any of those. It doesn't fit in a category. It's kind of different. It just looks different. And so, that's what I do. For me, it's been about the Mexican American experience, because it's a subject that created this version of me. And so, of course, it has to do with my evolution, and it has to do with these really important parts of me that, that created this amazing me. So I want to talk about it, and I want to explore it, and I want to continue understanding it, and I want to help, those members in my family that are still going through, these issues about it's like guilt and like for example with my parents, like all this shame and guilt that they've been feeling, like just to kind of get them to help them get to another point a place in their lives where they can understand that it was just supposed to happen that way. It was just supposed to happen that way. Like there's no sense or there is no reason for us to keep punishing ourselves for something that was just supposed to happen that way. Like it's bigger. It just I understand it as something bigger than just by chance or by coincidence or by accident or any of that. Like I don't believe that. I believe that it was just supposed to happen this way. I believe that we chose to have these experiences. I believe that I chose my parents because they needed to teach me what they were supposed to teach me, and without them, I wouldn't become who I have become thus far. And so it's the same thing with my daughters. They chose me for their specific journey. Like I was chosen by them. So that is like an honor. That's an honor to be chosen by our children, to kind of take us through like these really difficult parts in life that will eventually just create the amazing versions of us. So like I guess when I understood it at that magnitude, like I couldn't hate anymore. Like whatever hate, whatever feelings of like despair or fucking negative feelings, like they were gone. Like I didn't feel like that. I just felt like this human connection between everybody, between myself with my parents, with my siblings, with everybody that participated in that evolution. And that's what I felt. That's just what I felt. That it wasn't like it wasn't bad. It was just like this thing that I just realized. And so and this is what I choose to do now. This is just what I choose to do now, to talk about those experiences and just recollect, like just recollect so many memories, because I feel as time has gone by, I have just chosen to forget a lot of the really, really hard parts in life. Like I've made a conscious decision that like I don't need to be visiting, that part of it anymore. Like it's already done its job. It did what it was supposed to do. I don't need to visit it anymore. It just became part of these memories that I stored away. And I don't have any need to keep opening that box. I put it away because it needed to go away. It needed to be stored. And now it's been stored, and now I can start creating new memories, better memories, the kind of memories that are going to carry me, that I'm going to be able to take with me, through the end of my life. And that's what I want to create. That's what I want to take. That's what I'm just choosing to do. That is just a choice. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just a choice that I'm making because that makes me happy. And my happiness is very, very important to me. My happiness is is like number one to me. I need to be happy. I choose to be happy. I want to be happy. I don't have any need or reason or anything or anything else that would want me to choose not to be happy. Like why would I ever want to choose not to be happy? I choose to be happy. It's a conscious decision that I make like every day. Like every day. Doesn't mean that it works all the time. Sometimes, sometimes I feel a little blue. Sometimes I feel, things happen because I'm still living, through life, and I'm still going through what a lot of people are going through, what a lot of you guys are going through. I just choose to look at it differently. I just choose to acknowledge it and observe it, in a different way. And I just make a choice that, even when something bad happens, like there has to be something good. Like there's got to be something good in there. Like if we just look, there'll always be something good. And if I focus on that instead of, oh, why me, why me, why me, crap only keeps happening to me, then that's where I'm going to be, and I'm going to be stuck in that. That's not what I want to do, and that's not where I want to be. So anyway, I do not want to sound like I'm rambling, and I kind of sound like I am, but I have had an amazing last couple of weeks. The retreat was amazing. It was an amazing experience because again, it actually turned out better than I ever thought, and I got to see and understand other people's perspectives, and I had the opportunity to witness, you know, like the vulnerability of women. I got an opportunity to witness it, and I felt very grateful, and I felt very privileged to have that opportunity. And so that was amazing, and I hope that I can continue doing them, and I hope that I can continue inspiring. And if I inspire even one person, then that's like, I feel like that's amazing in itself. And I look forward to being inspired also, because just like I have the ability to do so, there's everybody else has the ability to just do so as well. And I admire so many people, including my daughters. My daughters are like, I don't even know how to describe them. They are these like amazing women, like amazing human beings, and they're amazing in every single way. And I am so so proud of them, and I'm so proud of them, and I can see so much of me in them, and I can see how the universe just gave me this amazing opportunity to be their mom. And I will forever be grateful for that honor and that privilege, and to be a part of that experience for them. So I mean, it was all good. Like so many good things have happened to me. Like so many amazing things have happened to me, and I'm so grateful. I can't stop saying that I'm grateful, because gratitude like runs deep for me, and I really work hard in having gratitude for everything, even the little things. I try to find it in every possible corner that I can find it in. And right now, I feel grateful. I am very grateful with life. I am very grateful for this experience. I am very grateful for the people that surround me. I am very grateful to have the opportunity to express my love to all those that I love dearly, and that hold very very special places in my heart. Like, I feel very grateful to have the opportunity to do that. And um, and I guess that's about it. I guess the episode was something about what's going on with me right now. And that's pretty much what's going on with me right now. I am in that place right now where I have realized so many things about me as a human being that I don't know, that have just been like defining for me. And I'm excited about the future, and I'm excited about everything that's coming my way, because I also believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that if you are good inside, and if you believe, and I believe that if we're constantly in a high state of vibration, that we attract all that is high in vibration as well. So we become kind of like magnets. And I'm very excited because I understand that part of life, and I know that only amazing things are coming into my life, and that makes me happy. That makes me so so happy. So I hope that I spread a little bit of happiness. I am going to start a new segment with my parents. The first one is going to be with my mom, because some of the stories that she has told me throughout life, I feel that are very similar to a lot of the stories of the immigrant people that that came to specifically to California around the time that we immigrated. And her stories are really inspiring and motivating, and I really want her to share them, and she's really excited about doing that. So that's coming up. And also my dad is another one that he is the greatest storyteller. I always tell him that he's got to be the greatest storyteller like ever born, because he's just amazing. And he also has these like amazing stories that have to do with the immigration experience and pasar de mojado and cuántas veces pasó de mojado and all the process that that he had to endure in order to get to the US and bring his family and try to give his family a better life. So tons of stories, and I'm really excited about doing that part of the project, because I was always a part of it, to include them in this. And I'm really, really excited. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes out of your lives to listen to my rambling, because I think today I kind of did a lot of rambling. So muchas gracias. Estoy muy agradecida, and I hope to start bringing the series of episodes about my mom and my dad very shortly, very soon here. So we'll see how that goes. So, anyways, this is your host Irene, and thank you so much for tuning into Chulas Pero Mulas, and I will see you next time.